Hey everybody, welcome to Bible study. All right, let's do our disclaimer. I am not a pastor or a preacher. If you're looking for a pastor or a preacher, then definitely look at the description underneath the video. And it has two links to two different pastors that they're above me, way above me. I'm not a pastor or a preacher. The Lord has just blessed me with the opportunity to share the word with my family. And as the father of this family, that's my job. As a father of your family, it's your job and your position. All those who have the Holy Spirit in them have the capability to learn the word and regurgitate the word to those underneath them. So I suggest that if you need a pastor or a teacher, you go to Pastor Omar, you go to Pastor Stephen Darby. Check out their videos. They will lead you in every way that you need to be led. All right, so let's get to it. We are on chapter 16 of the 35th.
Verse 16.
Excuse me. We are on verse 16 of the 35th chapter of the book of Jasher. Thank you, baby. And we're right at where the 7 kings of the Canaanites are coming together to do war or to go to battle against Jacob and his sons. And we know that Jacob and his sons are, right now they have 112 men together, and they're moving towards the front line to engage in the battle with Jacob behind them praying and Isaac praying. And their prayer was basically to take away the heart and the pride and the strength spiritually of the 7 Canaanite kings in their army, and to have them be in great fear. And so yesterday we ended off with the advisors to the kings of the 7 Canaanite kings, basically giving a rundown to the kings that are seeking their advice of everything that the Most High has done for his people up until that point, and how basically this is not what you want. You need to turn around, you need to leave, because you already know if 2 of them was able to take out a city, what you think gonna happen when it's all of them, right? And even though they're low in number, this is what's happening. And so today's Tuesday. We're going to dive straight into it. We're on verse 16. Not really sure how long we're going to go tonight. We have finals coming up and things like that, but we're just going to let the word carry us through. All right, you guys ready? All right. So verse 16 reads, "Who does not know that it was their Elohim who inspired them with strength to do to the town of Shechem the evil which you heard of?" And for those that don't know, Elohim basically means the Most High. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the creator of the whole earth and all that we witness, see, feel, everything. The Most High. Okay. So when we say Elohim, don't be thrown off. 17. Could it then be with their own strength that 2 men could destroy such a large city as Shechem, had it not been for their Elohim in whom they trust? He said, and did unto them all this to slay the inhabitants of the city in their city. So this is the advisor to the kings, and he's basically saying, look, man, what you guys fail to realize is that you're not going against mere men right now. These men that you're going against, they don't just have the favor of their God. They don't just have the blessing of their God. Their God is actually giving them the ability to do the things that you have seen and heard that they have been doing. So what do you think is going to happen when they run up on you, right? And can you then prevail over them who have come forth together from your city to fight with the whole of them, even if 1,000 times as many more should come to your assistance? So now he's saying, look, man, now you're not just about to battle 2 of them. All of them are coming. Do you think that you can win this? Even if you had 1,000 more people, do you really think you're going to win this battle? And this is exactly what Isaac and Jacob were praying for. He was praying for the king's hearts to melt, for them to believe that they couldn't beat them. Because once somebody believes that they're not able to do something, it doesn't matter how strong, how powerful, how many numbers that they have. Once you believe that you cannot do it, guess what? You're not going to be able to do it. That's just like once you honestly believe that you can do something, you will be able to do it. You understand? Okay. Surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them. Let me say that again. Verse 19. Surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their Elohim, who made choice of them, and you have therefore all come this day to be destroyed. So the advisors is telling the kings, you're not getting ready to fight Jacob and his sons. You getting ready to fight their God. That's who you getting ready to fight. So you might as well just get ready to be destroyed, because this is not what you think that it is. Okay? Now, therefore, refrain from this evil which you are endeavoring to bring upon yourselves. And it will be better for you not to go to battle with them, although they are but few in numbers, because their Elohim is with them. And when the kings of the Amorites heard all the words of their advisors, their hearts were filled with terror, and they were afraid of the sons of Jacob, and would not fight against them. And they inclined their ears to the words of their advisors. And they listened to all the words, and the words of their counselors greatly pleased the kings, and they did so. So basically, as the kings are listening to the counselors, their men or their soldiers, they're hearing this too. And they're like, hey, man, we don't want to fight these dudes. Man, I hope that the king changed his mind, because I'm not trying to get into this, right? And the kings are listening to their advisors, and they're looking at each other, and they're saying, hey, look, man, I tell you what, why don't we just break camp and go ahead and get up out of here? Shechem probably did something to them, and whatever Shechem did, man, he got what he deserved. But they've been cool for the last year and a half that they've been here, and Isaac and them is up the road, and we ain't never had a problem with them. Jacob was never went to battle on his own account, just out of nowhere against nobody. So that we don't even know him to get down like that. Why don't we just all go home and just everybody be cool? This is the discussions that they're having within their camp now. Their hearts have turned away from the desire for war. Just like Esau's heart when he was coming with those 400 men ready to go to war. And then them three angels showed themselves as 2,000 soldiers, split into 4 companies. And they kept riding up on them 500 at a time saying, look, check this out. If it wasn't for your brother Jacob, not one of you would leave this encounter right here. And it got to the point to where Esau was like, and his men was like, hey, man, we not trying to have beef with Jacob. We actually here because we ain't seen him in a while, and I just want to see him, and I just want to give him a hug. Remember how Esau changed his whole attitude? That's what's happening with these kings. They've changed their whole entire attitude towards the situation. And the kings turned and refrained from the sons of Jacob, for they dared not approach them to make war with them. For they were greatly afraid of them, and their hearts melted within them from the fear of them. So this teaches us several lessons. I'm going to harp on 2 of them right now. The first one is, notice how in the beginning of all of this, when Shechem first took Dinah, and they came and they told Jacob what happened, Jacob didn't go off. He didn't start yelling and screaming. He didn't break things and get mad. He didn't say, go get my sons. We're going to war right now. He sat down quietly and he waited for his sons to come home, and he said nothing. When his sons came, their anger was greatly aroused. It was kindled. Their wrath was kindled, right? But what was the first move they made?
They went to seek counsel.
They went to seek counsel, and they sought out the Most High, right? They went to seek counsel from their elder, Isaac, and they went to the scriptures to see, well, how do we handle this? Then how did they view what Shechem did? They said, you know what? Shechem has done this against the Most High. That's why we must handle this. He did it to us, But really, he's doing it against the Most High and his law. And so we need to go to the Most High and see how to handle this. Then, when given the opportunity to handle it, they handled it straightforward, right? Immediately handled it, got it over and done with. But once that engagement with those individuals was done, when it became bigger than that, when other parties begin to get involved, they went back to the drawing board and they went back to prayer. Immediately. At both times, instead of going and get revenge, they went to the Most High to seek counsel. So I tell you that to say this. In your life, when you get into situations, especially with people nowadays and the way people are just falling away and they're becoming so wicked and so evil and they're showcasing it as if it's a good attribute, you need to have the steps down of whenever somebody makes me mad, whenever somebody crosses me, whenever someone does something to me, whenever someone goes out of their way to pay me back with something that's evil, the first thing I'm going to do is shut my mouth and go seek counsel from the Most High. Because even though they were prepared to go to war, the sons is out there like, man, everybody go get your weapons and strap them on and be strong and be ready. We getting ready to go handle this. But at the end of the day, the elders were above them, praying to the Most High, not saying, bring us victory, Lord. Let us slay each and every one of them out here for what they did. That's not what Jacob and Isaac is out there praying. They're praying, make the enemies, make our enemies lose heart for the battle. Make them turn away so that there's not even an engagement in the first place. Both sides is riled up, ready to get it on. But Lord, take away their pride, take away their strength, cause fear to be in their hearts. So when you have a problem with somebody, have you tried going and pray and say, Lord, bless this person's attention to fall away from me. Let them focus on someone else or something else, even to the point to where they forget about me. Cause them to forgive me in their heart and have compassion upon me, even though they're in the wrong and I haven't done anything to bring this upon myself that I could think of. But if I have done something, Lord, please forgive me and forgive them for the way that they feel. But turn their heart away from me so that their great anger is towards someone or something else and not towards me. Do you see how that prayer sounds? Mm-hmm. This is the way that you pray. And then the third part, even though they prayed that, they still was on their way to go get it in. So after you pray that, you still going to have to be on your toes and be ready for whatever that person brings to you. Because you prayed with full expectation for the Most High to move that person out your way. But you don't know if that person is a Shechem. And the Lord is saying, oh, I hear your prayer, but I have this design for you to go and handle this business. I'll go handle it. I'm going to make sure you win, but go handle it. You understand? But you still seek counsel and you still pray for their pride, for their strength, for their ability to leave them. You understand? And if we as a people get back to the strength of our prayers, we will stop killing each other. We will stop tearing each other apart. We will stop destroying ourselves and one another, because we will continuously go to the Most High and seek counsel and bring these situations up before him and let him handle it like he did with these 7 kings and have them disperse. People will get into arguments and go back and forth with words and then walk away from that situation and not engage each other anymore. Then in their hearts, they'll let go of the pride and the anger and the hate. And instead of pulling the weapon, they'll set the weapon down and be like, yeah, man, yeah, he better not. But at the end of the day, everybody stay alive. Everybody stay free and they stop killing each other. You understand? Mm-hmm. And the kings turned and refrained from the sons of Jacob. And they dared not approach them to make war with them. They dared not. For they were greatly afraid of them, and their hearts melted within them from the fear of them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I would have to go back and look in here to see the exact number of how many soldiers that they had somewhere like 1,000 or something like that, right?
Because it was 7 kings, yeah.
It was 7 kings, so they had quite a few men. Versus 112. So you guys have been doing percentages in math.
Yeah.
They had 10, Jacob and his sons were 10% the size of the 7 kings in their army.
Yeah.
You understand? So the 7 kings in their army was this big. You guys can't see me, but this big. Jacob and his people was this big. That amount of people. But the fear that the Lord put in them. You understand?
112?
I'm sorry?
How was, remember when you said Jacob's people is around 112 or something?
It said because it was, the sons of Jacob were 11 plus another 101 or something like that. However they broke it down, I did the math in my head and it was either 112 or 122. I'm pretty sure it was 112 because I remember when I read it and I was like, oh yeah, 112. And for those that's around my age, they understand that 112 was a song from Boys to Men or something like that. Something like that. And so it just sparked my memory, right? Come on, let's keep rolling. Verse 24. For this proceeded from Yahuwah to them, for he heard the prayers of his servants, Isaac and Jacob. So look how the Most High is addressing his relationship with Isaac and Jacob at this time. He's saying his servants. And we know in this time, servants are like family. You understand? They're not people that you disrespect. They're not people that you misuse. They're people that usually live within your home. They have families. They have they make money. They have lives. They have their own. They probably have they work in your home, but they probably have a house somewhere on the property. Like your servants are not what we learn in school, even though they lie about it a lot, about modern day slavery. It's not like that. Servants in this time were those that served you, that dwelled with you, and you were responsible for, and you took care of. You understand? So to say that Isaac and Jacob was his servants, he was basically saying that Isaac and Jacob was his family. You understand? Okay. For this proceeded from Yahuwah to them, for he heard the prayers of his servants, Isaac and Jacob. For they trusted in him, and all these kings returned with their camps on that day, each to his own city, and they did not at that time fight with the sons of Jacob. And the sons of Jacob kept their station till that day till evening, opposite the Mount of Sihon. And seeing that these kings did not come to fight against them, the sons of Jacob returned home. So the sons of Jacob and their men, they came up to Mount Sihon, right? And the 7 kings returned, each going back to their own cities. So they split up and returned home. And Jacob and his sons witnessed this as with the servants that were with them, along with them. And they returned and went home as well. So the 2 groups came up like they were going to get it in. But the Most High heard the prayers of Isaac and Jacob. He fulfilled what they asked for, and they turned away the men. Now, what if Isaac and Jacob didn't pray for their hearts to be turned away?
Then they would have went into battle.
They would have went into battle. If they went into battle, what would have happened? People would have died, right? Yeah. There would have been destruction. And then whenever there's war, what happens? Some of the people that escape from the war, they hold a grudge. And so even though it's when you still have hatred in your heart and you still want to get back at the enemy, even though that fight is done. Right? Mm-hmm. And so the prayers that Isaac and Jacob sent up was very important. Come on, son. I know you have the ability to focus and pay attention. Why would you think that it's okay to sit there and mess with that toy right now? That doesn't make sense, does it? No. You got to fight against those thoughts that come into your mind, especially when we're doing the word. Okay? Because the enemy is always going to try to get you to be distracted. He's always going to try to get you to do something other than to listen to the word. Because this is the only thing that you could do to defeat him. So he wants to take that from you. You understand? Okay. So now what was I saying?
You were talking about how people would hold a grudge in their heart and still want to attack the people.
Yeah, people would hold a grudge in their heart. So they stopped they stopped anyone from dying. Because remember, them 7 kings that's been roused up, they went and got their soldiers. Remember how Shechem got all of the other men within the city in trouble and they ended up losing their lives because of Shechem? That's what would have happened to the 7 kings and their men. Because of Shechem, they would have lost their lives too. Because remember, they're there because of what happened to the city that Shechem was in. Right? So his wickedness did not just kill all the men of his city. His wickedness is now potentially about to kill 7 kings and their soldiers. You see how when we read in Proverbs how wickedness does not just affect those who do wickedness, it affects all those that's around them, right? Okay. All right, so that's the 35th chapter of Jasher. And I think we're going to stop right there because 36 is only 38 verses. And I think that we can get in. My goal is to start doing a chapter a night. All right. Some of the chapters are too big, but I don't really want to split them into 3-4 nights unless we absolutely have to. But if I can kind of keep it streamlined, I think that'll be better. All right. So let's see. What did we learn tonight? We learned, one, that it's very important that you do things in the proper order, even when somebody comes against you. Like, let's say we're all out, right? And our neighbor next door, for some reason, gets angry at us and throws a bunch of stuff over the fence that then kills our chickens, right? And we're really upset. There's a lot of people that they would say, okay, well, you did this to kill my chickens. Now I'm going to do something in your house, or I'm going to do something to you. No, we learned that even though we haven't done anything to cause them to do this to our chickens, what should we go and do?
Pray.
We should go and pray. And what should we pray? Should we pray, Lord, they killed my chickens, have a tree fall on their roof? Is crack open the top of their house and let it rain up in there? Is that what we should pray? No. Give me an example of something that we should pray for.
Lord, please help me to calm down and forgive them. And
bless us to have peace with each other.
Okay.
As long as possible.
Okay. Excellent. I thought you had one too. Excellent. Those are actually really, really good. Now, we also learned that after you pray that, you might have a situation where the neighbor comes back the next day and does something mean to the house or to us again. And we understand that, you know what, that might happen. But if that does happen, at least we've brought it to the Most High first and foremost. Now we're in a position where we got to say something to say, hey, man, don't throw anything over my fence again. What you threw over my fence, it hurt my chickens. I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you, but I'm asking you nicely. Do not throw anything over my fence again. And then let's say that they get angry. And they go back in their house and they say, all right, I'm going to throw twice as much stuff. What do you do then?
You pray.
You pray. Every time you have something happen to you, you go and seek counsel from the Most High. Every single time. You understand? Even if it's live and in action, meaning that let's say you're at the playground, we over there playing basketball, and the kid over there and wants to play with us, and he keeps tripping you. And he's tripping you, and you're getting angry, and you're getting mad, and you're like, Dad, I can't go home and pray right now. He's doing it to me right now while we're playing. Well, you step to the side, and in your head, you keep your eyes on them. Because if they tripped you, they might try to hit you or do something else. You always keep your eyes on them. But you step to the side, and in your mind, you pray. One of them silent prayers on the inside, and you ask Lord for the Most High for help. You understand? To cause this person to leave or turn their hearts. Or you could even say, Lord, if they do rise up against me, even though I don't want to do anything to them, bless me to be victorious on this day. Not bless me to break their arms and do no. But bless me to be safe, to have victory on this day. And for them not to be able to hurt me or my sister or my mom or my dad. You say that prayer and you keep going on. That doesn't mean that you might not have to grab the person and carry them off the court, or they might push you and you might have to defend yourself. I'm not saying that won't happen. But the first step is always go to the Most High. Because remember, Jacob and his sons, they went to the Most High, but they still put their swords on. They went to the Most High, but they still started marching towards the battlefield. They prayed to the Most High, but they still went to the top of that mountain and looked down at the rest of them kings like, all right, y'all ready? You understand? But the key is they went before the Lord. Now, all in all, wrapping it all up, you always have to make sure that you're in right what?
Relationship.
Right relationship with the Most High. Because if you've been sinning and you've been cutting up and you've been doing what's wrong, then what's happening to you might be from the Most High. You understand? So that kid might be on the court cutting up with you because you've been cutting up at home. So make sure that you refrain from doing that. And when you do it, you pray for forgiveness. You understand? But remember, whenever you do pray for forgiveness, that means that you should also attach that with the activity of stopping doing whatever it was you had to pray for. So if you got mad at your sister and told her that I'm never going to let you play with anything that's mine again, then you say, you know what, Lord, forgive me for that. I'm sorry that I did that. And you know what? I'm going to let my sister play with stuff. I ain't going to let her just take it, but I am going to let her play with stuff sometimes. You understand? And the next time that she do something to you, you say, I don't like when you do this to me. I'm going to tell dad. I'm going to tell mom. Whatever it is. But you just don't go back to that same thing of, I'm never going to let you touch any of my stuff ever again. No. When you ask for forgiveness for something, you do your very best not to do it again. You understand? That don't mean you're going to be perfect. That don't mean you're going to live without sin. But you try your very best not to do it again. All right? And that was chapter 35 for Jasher. We're going to cut it right there, guys. I'm going to keep reminding you at the end of every video because in all honesty, man, we are really excited to get more people a part of this and keep going. And so we're 3 subs away from going live, which will be going live every single night. You guys have a great night. God bless you. Remember, check the description underneath and you will be able to find pastors that can most definitely guide you along your way, man. Y'all have a great night.